In this episode, I'm going to test out a new glue gun, Cordless, and tell you how it holds up. Hey everybody, DM Jim here, and welcome to another episode of Game Terrain Engineering. This is actually a product review that I've been really anxious to share with you. It's a glue gun, not this one. This is the one that I've been using for some time now since DM Scotty recommended it. It's still a great little gun, especially with the metal tip that you can use for like smoothing glue or making patterns. It uses the smaller glue stick, and it's the pressure kind. It has an on-off button, which a lot of people like. Now, let me tell you what I don't like about this. One, I don't like the mini glue sticks. You seem to burn through them very fast. Also, the on-off button, maybe it's because I'm right-handed and I tend to grip it like this. So many times I've been gluing something and all of a sudden I'm not getting glue coming out, or the bond's not so strong, and I look and I realize that I accidentally turned it off. The on-off button is just to me, it's not a good location. They should have put it on top, or I don't know, maybe a toggle switch on the cable itself. But being that it's on the handle, I've had a lot of trouble with this. The other reason I'm not so fond of this gun lately is it's not got a really long cord. Now, this may not matter to you depending on your workshop. But in my workshop, just the way it's laid out, my plugs are over here about 4 or 5 feet away. It won't reach unless I want to work over near the plug. I've been on the look for a replacement for this for some time now. Specifically, I've been looking for a cordless hot glue gun. There's more of these, the power cord kind. But for the cordless glue guns, there are some out there, and I'm not willing to spend a lot of money to try them and find out they don't work. And there were a lot of recommendations, but one of them in particular stood out for cost. It wasn't super expensive, and it had a different way of doing the cordless part. Now, there are cordless glue guns that charge. You charge the battery, you can turn them on and off, and you can use them as often as you want. The battery dies and then you recharge it, kind of like a power tool. But this one works a little bit different. Let me show it to you. This one is the Surebonder right here. Now, what I want you to notice about this, it has this little flip. This is a glue drip plate. Glue will not stick to this very easy. Although I haven't used this yet. I've been using this for a few weeks now, and the glue just doesn't drip on here. It doesn't leak out like some of my other glue guns. Now, you'll notice it's sitting on a plug here. It has an on-off switch down here near the bottom, and it's recessed. It's actually, it's hard to turn this on and off accidentally, okay? You have to actually make an effort to push on the button and do it. It's got a big trigger, and the other difference is it uses the bigger glue sticks, the 1/2 inch. I like this. One, because a good squeeze will give you a lot of glue. A subtle squeeze will give you a little bit. You can't really do that with these finer tipped glue guns. With this thing, you squeeze that trigger fast and hard, and man, the glue just comes out. But here's the special thing about this. And I'm going to test this for you live or recorded, but you're going to see a timer going. The documentation says that let it heat up for 5 minutes. That lets the glue get really nice and hot. And it's on right now. And the way you can tell that, can you see the LED? There's a red LED right there that's lit up. It's been on for, I don't know, 10 minutes or so, but you let it heat up for a minimum of 5 minutes. And then the documentation says that when you pull it off, the charger, see the charger? When you pull it off, you can use this for up to 2 minutes without the glue losing any strength. The heat maintains for 2 minutes, and, see the bead there? Nice, big, thick bead if you pull it, okay? I don't know if you can see the steam. Yeah, you can. I just saw it. This thing gets hot. Now, I'm here in my chilly basement on Christmas morning, and I will tell you, a couple weeks ago, it was nice and warm in the house, and the basement wasn't cold. I used this on foam, and it started melting the foam, so you got to be careful. Right now, it's not melting the foam. It's still nice and hot. Makes a nice bond. It's still a little squishy, so I'll let it cool. But anyway, basically it says you can just leave it sitting on your table for 2 minutes and it won't lose heat or whatever. But at the end of the 2 minutes, just to stick it back on the charge pad and just leave it until you need it. It has, I don't know if you can see these, it has these triangular wings on the side. Let's see if I can get to it right there. See that right there? And this right there? The documentation says that what those are for is when you set it down, those wings apparently keep it sort of slightly at a tipped angle so that the glue doesn't ooze out. And I can verify that that is true. When this thing is sitting on the table, I'll set it right now, the glue is not oozing out of the nozzle. Now, it does say that this is an insulated nozzle, this green, so to protect yourself, but I'll tell you right now, it's hot. It's not hot enough to probably leave it's not hot enough to leave a blister, not like the metal tip, but I wouldn't go resting my hand on it. But the nice thing is if you accidentally touch yourself with the green, it's not going to leave a blister, not like those metal tipped ones. All in all, I'm really pleased with this, but here's what I want to do for you. Keep watching. I'm going to walk through and show you the 2-minute test of this particular glue gun to see how it does at that 2-minute mark. Does it lay a good bead down? Is it strong once it cools? Let's go take a look, and then I'll give you my final verdict, okay? I've set a timer. I don't know if you can see it. It's at 4 minutes, 17 seconds. I'm basically letting the glue gun heat up for the recommended 5 minutes. And then I've got a bunch of junk out here, just scraps that I'm going to glue together and show you how this works. Now, the description for the gun says that when you take it off the plug, you can treat it as a cordless glue gun for about 2 minutes. So as soon as this hits 5 minutes, I'm going to set another timer, and I'm going to set it for 2 minutes and see how this thing does every like 30 seconds. We're just going to see, how if it does a strong bond, or if closer to the 2-minute mark, if it starts falling off in terms of the heat of the glue. So we're at 5 minutes now. So I'm going to stop this, and what I'm going to do is I've taken it off. You can see that it is truly cordless. It uses the 0.43, roughly ½ inch glue sticks. And let's, one thing I want to show you is how hot this gets. This is foam. The last time I did this, it bubbled when I pressed it together. Let's see what it does. Well, it's not melting the foam this time around, although, wow, that is really hot. Depending on the temperature, like right now it's really cold in my basement, so that's probably having an effect. But normally I can see the glue bubbling a little bit. Yeah, it's healing. It was actually bubbling the foam, too hot. So right now it's doing quite well. Let's see, some cardboard there. Let's do plastic to plastic. Woo, that's hot. All right, there's plastic to plastic. And let's see, let's do wood to wood. I've got little wood cubes here. Going heavy on the glue. Normally I wouldn't go this heavy, because I don't want the squeeze out here, but not a big deal. All right, so let's check it out. I'm going to go ahead and plug this back in because I'm going to do another test in a minute. All right, so let's see. Where was the foam? Here we go. I mean, it is. I could probably. It's strong. There we go. So I've actually ripped some of the foam there, but very strong bond there. Here's the 2 pieces of chipboard. Let's see. Yeah, typical paper. It's pretty solid. I can't even tear it apart. There we go. No, it wouldn't even let me tear the glue. All right, and let's see, the wood to wood. That's pretty strong. Actually, let me do the plastic first. Let that one cool some more. The plastic is definitely, come on. Wow. That is a tight bond. I am not getting that apart. Let's see about the wood. I could probably crack this. Maybe not. Golly, wow, that is a strong bond. Okay, not bad. Let's check wood to plastic. Let's do a little wood here. All right, stick it on, let it cool down. Give that just a minute. Let me see what it looks like on, this is 1/4" foam. It's not melting it. The first time I used this, boy, it really melted it, but it's not doing it now. So let's see. Put that on there. Again, I'm charging the glue gun here, putting it back on the base. And as you can see, let me see, that's still a little wet. That's pretty impressive, especially for the plastic. I could not get those two plastic pieces apart with my fingers. I could probably, I don't know, get a blade in there and cut it, but it's on there pretty strong. Let's see. Now the wood is, I was able to get the wood off, but you can see it actually left some of the wood on there. That's a pretty strong bond too. Not bad. All right, let's see, the foam. Yeah, the foam is still a little soft. I don't know. Normally I do use a glue gun on foam, but again, this one gets very hot. So it's not setting up strong. But I didn't intend to use this on foam. For this, I may use my other glue gun. Although now it's getting pretty. It's getting pretty strong. I'm actually cracking the glue if I try to break it. I can hear it setting up. Let's see if it gets a little bit more. Can you hear that? It's cracking the glue. Yeah, look at that. I think it would do fine on foam. I'll need to experiment a little bit more with it, but pretty impressed with that. All right, so here's what I'm going to do. I am going to set a timer for 2 minutes. I'm taking the glue gun off and I'm sitting it here for 2 minutes, and I want to see if the battery inside here maintains the heat for that solid 2 minutes. And I think what I'll do is I'll glue the wood back onto the plastic and see how that does. It's at 40 seconds. At the 1 minute mark, I'm going to glue another wood cube on here and see how it does. Now remember, this is not charging. It's supposed to be good for up to 2 minutes of off the base time. Coming up on 53 seconds, 54, 59, and 60. All right, so we're at the 1 minute mark. Let's see. Glue still comes out real smooth. Push that on there. Now, those of you who use a glue gun quite often, you know that if you don't let the glue heat up to its maximum temperature, you don't always get a strong bond. So I'm going to let that cool for a minute and see how the bond does there. And we're coming up on 1 minute and 30 seconds, so 30 more seconds, and we'll try this again. And I may push it. I may go beyond the 2 minutes, and let's just see what happens. So we're coming up on 1 minute and 40 seconds. So I'm going to glue 2 new cubes so I don't mess with this. 1 minute 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 2 minutes. All right, let's check it out. Glue still comes out very smooth. All right, let's let that go. I'm going to go, let's just go for fun to 3 minutes. Let's see what happens. Now this is the one I just glued on. Let's see. Wow, that is strong. And that was at 1 minute. Come on. Now, I will tell you, I'm using the Gorilla glue sticks that are supposed to be really strong, and I'm telling you, I'm trying to break that off, and it is not doing. We're coming up on 2 minutes, 45 seconds. That was at 1 minute. At 1 minute, this thing still was doing fine. So here we go, 2 minute 53, 54. All right, we're at 3 minutes. Let's test it again. Now, that time I could see the glue coming out a little bit slower. All right, I'm gonna let these set for the 4 minute mark. These were done at 2 minutes. Let's see. Wow, that is still a very strong bond. For 2 minutes, it was off the charger. Golly. Okay, I'm pretty satisfied. That's golly, 2 minutes. All right, so 1 minute, 2 minutes. We're coming up on the 4 minute mark. 3:46, 47. At 4 minutes, I'm going to test this, and then I'm going to glue this to that one and see what happens. So remember, this thing is supposed to be, you know, dwindling down in heat. All right, we are now at the 4 minute mark. All right, so let's see. Oh yeah, when I'm squeezing the trigger, the glue's coming out a little slower, and oh, it's not goopy. It's a little harder. You'll just have to take my word for it. It's more viscous. Is that the right word? You know, as I'm sticking it together. So this is the middle one at the 4 minute mark. So let's give that a minute to cool and see how we do. I'm going to go ahead and put this back on the charger because I've gone 2 times the length that the documentation says that it's good for. It stated that it would hold the heat of the glue for 2 minutes, that it could be off the charger for up to 2 minutes. So at 4 minutes, let's see how this middle one does. And I'm going to go to 5 minutes. We're coming up on 4:45, 4:48. I'm reading the time because I can't tell if you can see that on the digital display. 4:55. At 5 minutes, I'm going to try and break this. All right, here we go. The middle one. Oh yeah, that was much easier. All right, so definitely did not get as good a bond. Now let's try this one. Come on, I can't remember which of these was which. One was the 2 minute, one was the 3 minute. But at the 4 minute mark, the glue did not hold. So that's pretty impressive that this gun off the charger was able to do a good bond at the 3 minute mark. Now I don't know about you, but I keep this close by. I'm fine with plugging it back in and just, you know, when I need it. But it is nice to be able to just set it down and when you're doing multiple glues and not have to worry about keep putting it back on the charger. You get up to 3 minutes before it apparently seems to the temperature of the glue seems to dwindle to a point where you're not going to get that strong bond, but not too shabby. The Surebonder high temp glue gun uses the 1/2 inch glue sticks, and this one in here is it's the Gorilla hot glue. It says 5 times more durable. 45 counts, the one I ordered. I'll put links to this and the Gorilla glue sticks in the description below. So there you go. 2 minutes. At the 2 minute mark, it laid down a nice thick bead that when it cooled, it was very strong. It still did it at the 3 minute mark. At 3 minutes, I was able to put down a nice little bead, put 2 pieces of wood together, and let me tell you, they are stuck. Just, if I really put some effort into it, I could probably break them apart. But by hand, I was sitting there just trying to torque those things, and they were not coming apart. But at the 4 minute mark, when the 2 pieces that I glued together at 4 minutes, letting them cool for 1 minute, and at the 5 minute mark, you saw that how easy I snapped them apart. But that's pretty impressive that, you know, it says 2 minutes, but it's nice to know that I could go up to 3 minutes with this just sitting on the table and still have access to it. The odds of me needing this to be sitting there for 10, 20 minutes like this one does, you know, you leave this plugged in, you just throw it on the table and you leave it sitting there. This one has the little stand, you know, so that it's, and I don't know about you, but it never stands. You know what I'm talking about. You try to stand these things up and they inevitably tip over. And I know some people create little stands for them or little holsters so that they can keep them upright. But I'm finding myself over the last 2 weeks, I've used this less and less, and I've been using this more and more. Very impressive. If I find this has any weaknesses or drawbacks as I use it over time, I will certainly let you know. I'll either update this video or do a new one. But right now, this Surebonder, pretty happy with it. I love no cord. That is, to me, especially with my crowded desktop sometimes, that cord can get in the way. I've had it tip things over. So anyway, hey, listen, if you're using Scotty's recommended, continue to use it. It's a great glue gun. And like I said, I still like the metal tip for doing certain things with it. I just don't like the on-off switch, and I wanted a heavier duty glue stick instead of the smaller kind. So listen, I am going to put a link to this below, plus also the Gorilla glue sticks that I use. I'll put them in the description below. It is going to be an Amazon affiliate link, so if you click that and buy one, I think I'll get like 30 cents or something like that. It's not much. But if 1,000 of you buy it, hey man, I could go get me a nice Christmas gift for myself. A couple hundred minis or something, I don't know. But anyway, no. If you're looking for a new glue gun and you want to try something new, you know, if you trust me, I've been using it for 2 weeks. I have no contacts at Surebonder. It was just something I found, a recommendation, and I went out and read the reviews and found it on Amazon and bought it. Took a chance. It was not super expensive, and I'm sold. I love this thing. So if that's a good enough product review for you, you know, no support from Surebonder coming my way. But Surebonder, if you're watching, definitely like it. And I'm also probably going to check out some of your other glue guns, because I don't think this is the only model they carry. So anyway, listen, today is December 25th. For those of you celebrating Christmas, Merry Christmas. My kids are upstairs playing with some electronics and some toys and some board games. I got them King Domino, which is excellent if you haven't played it. King Domino, all one word. And another recommendation was Sheriff of Nottingham. It's a board game. It's a bluffing style game. We played it earlier, and it's fun too. That one came from a friend of mine who said, man, you got to play Sheriff of Nottingham. So Sheriff of Nottingham and King Domino are two new board games that we played today. They're very fun. So listen, Merry Christmas to you. I don't know if I'll have a new video up before New Year. Possibly. We'll wait and see. My 3D printer extruder is supposed to arrive tomorrow, the 26th. Hopefully I can get that thing fixed, you know, in a day or half a day, and get that thing printing again and get my next project, the big special project I've been promising you guys. I got to get that thing done. It's driving me crazy. Listen, sorry to take all your time. I wanted to keep this video very short. Surebonder, plus in my book, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Thank you for watching, and this is DM Jim, and I will see you in the next episode.